IRs are responsible for managing their own readiness, and that includes understanding the IR deployment and exercise processes. This video provides information on how an IR can participate in deployments and exercises. Volunteerism is voluntary active duty service for contingencies, exercises, or deployments associated with war efforts or domestic emergencies. To volunteer, IRs must be in a ready status across the readiness categories. For more information on these categories, view HQ RIO's readiness video. There are 3 volunteer readiness prerequisites. First, your My Readiness report within ArcNet must reflect green. You must have passed your fitness assessment. And you must have a 3-level AFSC unless otherwise specified by the requirement. You can find volunteer deployment opportunities in 3 places. The Volunteer Reserve System, or VRS, is an AFSC-approved site that is accessed through ArcNet. Submit your application directly on VRS. AFRIC Functional Area Managers, or FAMs, are another resource to identify volunteer opportunities. Contact your FAM about upcoming volunteer positions in your career field. The third place to look for opportunities is through your assigned active duty unit or gaining command. In this process, the AD unit must have MPA funding for an IR deployment. 06s and above need AFRIC Deputy Commander approval to volunteer. All deployment and exercise volunteers must submit a volunteer statement of understanding through their AD unit and RIO det. The SOU indicates your desire to volunteer and allows your AD unit and RIO det to verify your readiness. Find this form on HQ RIO's deployments webpage. The SOU must be signed by the IR and their unit deployment manager, AD unit commander, and RIO det commander. The IR volunteer approval process has 3 phases, each requiring effective coordination. Phase 1 is complete and approve the volunteer SOU. Phase 2 involves communication between the HQ RIO IPR and the FGC functional area representatives. Phase 3 is to finalize the process and create the orders. Let's look at the process for deployments first. Phase 1 begins when an IR initiates the process by finding an available deployment vacancy. Then, the IR completes the SOU and sends it to their UDM and active duty unit commander for signature. After receiving those signatures, the IR sends the SOU to their det to review and verify eligibility. The det commander will approve or disapprove the request. Then, the det sends the approved or disapproved SOU to HQ RIO's Installation Personnel Readiness Office by email. After HQ RIO IPR receives the SOU, there are several coordination steps that occur between HQ RIO IPR and many other offices. This process takes time. IRs should submit their SOU 6 months, but no less than 2 months, ahead of the deployment. Finally, HQ RIO IPR provides the IR with the CED orders. IRs should never deploy on orders from an active duty unit. CED orders must come from HQ RIO. In the deployment process, the AD unit and HQ RIO IPR have different responsibilities, and this can cause miscommunication. Now let's revisit the process for exercises. Steps 1 through 5 are the same as the deployments process. Signatures are obtained in the same order, and the RIO det sends the SOU to HQ RIO IPR by email. The next step is unique to the exercise process. The IR must ask for AF Form 938 orders via MyFSS before they can get CED orders. After HQ RIO IPR receives the SOU, there are several coordination steps that occur between HQ RIO IPR and the MAGCOM that owns the exercise. This process takes time. IRs should submit their SOU between 30 and 45 days ahead of the exercise. In the last phase, HQ RIO IPR coordinates with the exercise FM office to finalize the IR CED orders. Again, IR should never deploy on orders from an active duty unit. CED orders must come from HQ RIO. In the exercise process, the AD unit and HQ RIO IPR also have different responsibilities. Remember, the IR is responsible for DTS authorizations and vouchers for all exercise travel. Keep in mind, the deployment and exercise volunteer processes have specific steps. The consequence of not following the process is that an IR cannot deploy and take advantage of the benefits that come with deploying. Here are some reminders. IRs can only deploy on CED orders. HQ RIO IPR is not the sole owner of the process. Submit the SOU in a timely manner to help the process. Communication is key. Regularly communicate with HQ RIO IPR and the UDM during this process. You can contact HQ RIO IPR at this email for help. Visit HQ RIO's deployments webpage or email the address listed on the screen for additional information. View the IR Mobilization and Volunteerism course on the online RIO learning experience. These links are in this video's description.